technical difficulties today. I have some Wi-Fi problems with my cell phone, so it may pop in and out. There may be a bit of lag. I apologize for that. But stick with me. I have some amazing things to talk with you tonight. It's a great topic tonight. In fact, our topic this evening, we will be discussing rumor. Is this truth? We're going to sort through the rumor, sort through the truth. I'm going to share with you some of my insights and personal experience with the ride and some of my own theories about the ride and what's going to happen going forward. So I think it's going to be a very exciting chat. I hope you guys have a lot to share about your own personal experiences about the ride. And if you have some questions that you want have answered, I hope you ask those questions in this group as well. Before we get into the live chat and as we wait for more people to join, I want to take a moment really quickly to say thank you very much to our moderators this evening. We have Karen, Buddy, and I believe Christina may be joining us as well. These folks are also moderators or administrators for the Pammy Plus Parks Facebook group, and they also moderate the live chats here. Please say hello to them and thank them for generously giving of their time to moderate this live chat. And if you aren't already aware, Pammy Plus Parks on all of the social media platforms is a G-rated channel. G-rated on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. So we like to keep it family friendly, and our moderators are here to help make sure that happens so that you can enjoy these videos and these live chats with your entire family if you'd like. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get set up for the live chat here so I can have the comments in front of me on my laptop really big and read them from you guys. Let's see, let me get this set up a little bigger. Let's see, maybe not. Give me just one moment here, almost there. Okay, drop the quality if your screen lags. Okay, buddy, that was a good tip if people are having too much lag. But honestly, the issue that I'm having with this cast tonight, I mean, I can see on my computer the quality is really terrible, the video, and it's because I'm not able to connect to my Wi-Fi because there's a problem with my phone. I think it's time for me to get a new phone, but I can't really afford it right now. But yeah, I have a Galaxy 5 phone. It's not the best phone in the world. Let's say hello to a couple people who've popped in. P-Bottom Poochies, hello. Hello from Michigan, hello Monica. Beth, hello. Hello Maylin. Hello Ricky. Hi Alan, good to see you again. It's great to see everybody here, and Groot's here too. Hello Groot. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. And I want to make sure you guys know that as we've been doing these live chats, they tend to get more and more popular as we get a little further on in. More and more people join. I'm not always able to give every single person a shout out or read every comment or question, but if you've got a really important comment or question you want me to see and respond to, please take advantage of Super Chat. It is available tonight. You click on that, make a small donation to the channel, which will help create more videos, and it will put your comment or question at the top of my live chat queue, and it'll give me a little bit of time to read and react to it. The more you contribute to the channel, the longer your comment or question stays at the top of my live chat queue. If you are interested in just contributing to the channel in general, you can always like, share, and comment on the videos. That helps the channel tremendously. Or if you wish, you can contribute financially using our PayPal link, which I believe is down in the description of this video. Yes, it is down in there, so you can click on that at any time to make a contribution of any amount whatsoever. You do not have to contribute, but if you do, it is greatly appreciated, and know that your contributions will go towards creating videos that will help tons and tons of people. If you joined us for a live chat before, you may notice my background's a little bit different. It's this video to fill up with cards and especially postcards from you guys. I do have a post office box, and I would love it if you guys would send me really cool stuff that I can put to make a nice background for the videos going forward. My post office box is P.O. Box 16515, St. Petersburg, Florida 33733, USA. I just would love to definitely read postcards from you guys from where you are, from your hometown, from your favorite attraction. Anything like that would be really cool. I'd love to see those and be able to hang them up. I've already gotten a few of them, and as a matter of fact, I recently stopped by my post office box and picked up a bit more mail. I will take just a moment to go through my current mail and share that with you before we jump into the live chat, because I know people are hoping that I will read and share these with you guys live. So you should know that usually when I get cards and letters, I do open them up first before the live chat to make sure everything's G-rated. And also because I have no self-control and I have to open everything that I get because I get super excited to see them. The first things I have for you, though, are actually birthday cards that I got at Walt Disney World. They give you these amazing birthday cards whenever you do a character dining experience. One of these is from a character dining experience at the Crystal Palace. You have Tigger for me. And the thing that I find really interesting about this is these are not printed signatures. Like, they aren't printed on a printing press. Someone actually signed signatures on these cards. This other card is from Epcot, from the Garden Grill. I even got stickers from Chip and Dale and Pluto, but I also got oh, and Mickey too. I didn't even realize that I got stickers from each of the characters as well as their signatures. Mark treated me to a birthday brunch on my birthday at Epcot that I didn't even know about until the night before. Actually, I didn't know I was going to brunch. He just said we're going to Epcot, but I didn't know that we were having brunch until I got there. And we had such a wonderful time. I had a fantastic breakfast there, and I loved it. But let me share the mail that you guys sent. This is, I believe, the latest mail. I got a birthday card from David C. And I'm not sharing your addresses or your last names for your own personal privacy. But this is from David C. Happy birthday to you, it says, with these pretty gifts on it. And he says, thanks for all that you've done for us, puffy plus size folks. Wishing you all the best on your birthday from Dave and his kitty cat, Roxy. I love kitty cats. I have 4, so I'm a big fan of cats. Thank you very much. This is a beautiful card. I loved getting it. I'm going to show you one more card here. This one is from Jennifer in Indiana. Really pretty card. Lots of pretty polka dots, very festive, and hidden Mickeys. Look at the envelope. When you open the envelope, it's a Mickey. This is a gorgeous card. It says happy birthday, and it's like very three-dimensional. There's all these like puffy stickers of Mickey Mouse cupcakes and Mickey heads and party hats, presents, and cake. It's so, so cute. It says happy birthday. It says, sending special wishes for a day that brings love, laughter, and joy. Thank you for all you do. I love your YouTube channel, and it was so helpful on our last trip to Disney. Best wishes, Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer, so much for this beautiful card. I really appreciate it. It's so pretty. I love that you guys are taking the time to send me these wonderful things. It means a lot to me, and I love reading them. And that is just such a super cute card. I can't wait to see these cards on the wall behind me. This is my most recent piece of mail, and I thought this was really cool. This is from Ontario, Canada, and it comes from, let me see if the person signed their name on the back here, Colette. Colette sent this from Ontario, Canada, or sorry, Ottawa, Canada, right? Yes, Ottawa, sorry. She didn't send me a postcard, but she sent me these amazing pictures that she printed out. This is a beautiful landscape picture of Ottawa. And then she also printed a picture of the Parliament building, the front view. I thought that was really gorgeous in the snow. How pretty is that? And then I have a card as well. This one's really, really ornate. Look, there's little tiny clothespins that are hanging up the words happy birthday. It is so adorable. It's like it's handcrafted. I mean, these are little tiny wooden, real wooden little clothespins. It's super cute. It says, happy birthday to you from all of us at our house. We wish you the most fantastic and magical of 49th birthdays. The kindest of wishes from Canada, Colette, Michael, and I believe it says Marley's, I believe. I hope I got everybody's name pronounced properly there. Thank you so much for this gorgeous card. I really appreciate it. And if I didn't mention it earlier, I am actually celebrating my birthday month. My birthday was Tuesday of last week, and I turned 49, which I'm excited about because it means I'm that much closer to turning 50, and I'm kind of hoping to make my 50th birthday a big deal. But that wasn't the only thing that I received. Amanda, thank you very much, Amanda, for that $15 birthday greeting. Thank you so much for that super chat. I got a package in the mail. I'm not going to show you the other side of it because I'm going to give away addresses. This I didn't open first because I knew it was coming for me. I knew it was coming from Karen, who's my administrator of my Facebook group, and she is moderating this live chat tonight. She's one of the moderators. So I knew it was going to be safe to open this on air for you guys. So tape, I don't know, it's neat. I'm using scissors because I have no idea of how to like open this properly. What's in here feels soft and oddly shaped. So I'm excited to see. Ooh. Oh my gosh. I think I might know what this is. Oh my gosh. This is the coolest thing ever. It's Mickey Mouse in, it's not a Beefeater costume. Or, I don't know what the name of his costume is, but he's like a king's or queen's guardsman. A palace guard, perhaps? I'm not really sure. I'm so dumb. I'll have to learn. But look at his gorgeous outfit. And it says MM for Mickey Mouse on his hat. He has a shiny hat. Oh my gosh, I love this. I have never seen anything like this before. It's absolutely beautiful. Oh, I love it. Oh, I can't wait to display him with all my other toys and things. I might even actually have to get a shelf to display all these beautiful things that I have. This is amazing. I love him. Thank you, Karen. He's gorgeous. There's a card too. Oh my gosh. There's something else in here. Holy cow, you guys. It's Queen Minnie. She's got a beautiful velvet cape on, a gorgeous embroidered gown with a lace trim on the bottom of it. Look at her scepter. Isn't that amazing? She has a beautiful crown on her head. Oh my gosh, this is the most incredible thing ever. Thank you, Karen. She's absolutely beautiful. I love her little gold shoes. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. What a beautiful gift. Thank you so much. I love both Mickey and Minnie. If you guys aren't aware, Karen is from the UK, so that's like a perfect gift from her. And it looks like she sent me a little card as well. So let me open this. Better not make me cry. I'll be really upset if you make me cry. It says happy birthday on it. And look, there's like a little bison on there. And it's made out of wood. That is so cool. And fabric. Looks like it is wood. Let's see what it says. Dear Pammy, have a very happy birthday. Wonderful. What a thoughtful gift. And how beautiful too. Like totally spectacular. Thank you so much. I love them. I can't wait to display those. You guys are going to be seeing those guys in the background of videos in the future. I'm sure of it. That's amazing. Well, that's a great way to kind of kick off a live chat. Thank you guys for sticking around while I open the mail. I hope you guys like that. In the future, if I start getting like lots and lots of mail, I might do like a separate mail vlog or something like that. Or maybe I'll just videotape it and then upload it later so it isn't a part of the live chat. But all right. Oh, Karen said that's a Highland cow that's on the card. That's amazing. That's what that is, a Highland cow. I'm like American, so of course I think it's a bison. It does look like a bison. It looks a lot like one. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, a Beefeater. Okay, so I was right. So Mickey is in a Beefeater costume. Cheers for your set. I did not know you have a Facebook group. What's the name of it? It's also called Pammy Plus Parks. So if you go to Facebook groups and you search for Pammy Plus Parks, you'll find it there. I have a link down in the description as well. You can also find it. You can find me on Instagram and you can find me on Twitter as Pammy Plus Parks, one big long word. It's pretty easy to find me everywhere. And oh, I see Buddy put the link, so that's fantastic. That is very helpful. What else? It looks like you guys, thank you for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Walt Disney World Sock Puppet Reviews. That's a funny channel you guys should check out. Let's see. The Kennedy Rain says, thank you so much for braving the world so we don't have to wonder. You are amazing. Thank you. Hey, Sarah. Hello. It's good to see you. You know, I just, you know, kind of my goal for you guys when I make these videos is to try to find out answers to the questions that you would want to ask if you were there, and get you information that you would want to know before you even get there, so you can go into the parks, whether it's Universal or Disney, already armed with the information that you were wondering about, so that you can just relax and enjoy yourself. So I try to always have you guys in mind all the time when I'm doing these vlogs, and I just am always thinking about what it is that you want to know. And more of you have told me either on Facebook or here, you know, on Twitter or Instagram or here in these chats, you've told me like what your particular concerns are, whether it's you may have some things that when you're dealing with things with vision or hearing or different physical mobility concerns, sensory concerns, dietary allergy type concerns. I try to keep all of that in mind, and I'm trying to build the videos and add more information that will be useful to you. So if you have something along those lines that you think you need to know and others would find useful as well, please send me your feedback and let me know. You can also reach me on, my email is pammyplusparks@gmail.com, so you can reach me there as well if you have a longer thing that you want to write to me and let me know. The Kennedy Rain says, for years I avoided Universal because I figured I would not fit on E.T. and I want to ride it so badly. Guess what? I have a video for E.T. I haven't edited it yet, but I have already filmed it. And I can tell you that I had no issues whatsoever at 350 pounds and 5'4", and I know that people who are bigger than me are not going to have any issues either. They have some alternative seating on that ride that's going to be especially comfortable for people who have any sort of mobility concerns, accessibility concerns, size concerns, height concerns, all of those things. So keep your eyes peeled for that. That will be coming out. You will see that. Okay. So Michelle Meek's asking, what did you miss? Well, you didn't miss it, the hot topic yet, which I'm going to start right now. Let's start talking about new seats for Flight of Passage. Have you guys been hearing all the rumors that have been floating around? I don't know if you guys are as involved in and kind of like constantly researching and looking at Facebook groups and Disney information and message boards and stuff that have information for plus size people. I'm constantly looking at stuff like that. I have my own Facebook group, you know, and I follow other people and their blogs and stuff, and I'm always looking for information about what's going on in the world. And I know a number of people who work in different parks, and I know people who work in parks. And you kind of ask, and you know, they can tell you what they can tell you. I don't ask anybody to tell me anything they're not allowed to tell me, and I would never share anything they're not allowed to share. So I don't want to know anything they're not supposed to tell me because I don't want to accidentally share something. But I know there's a lot of rumors out there about, oh, hey, Brian's in here too. I don't think I've uploaded Brian yet, but he's also a moderator for our Facebook group. I want to share, Brian, a couple things with you, some information to kind of get you up to speed, and I'll have you uploaded as a moderator over there too. Here's the thing with the ride that I can tell you from information I've gathered from personal experience and from cast members who work there about, and this is not scientific evidence. It's not scientific. Beth, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for the birthday wishes. Um, Again, not scientific. It's my own information I've gathered myself and information that I've gathered from cast members and people who've ridden the ride and observations of information I've collected. So it's not at all scientific, but from what I gather and from what I've heard as feedback from cast members who work at the ride, approximately 80% of the people who try Flight of Passage are able to go on the ride. And so that's actually pretty good statistics. And the 20% of the people who can't get on the ride, the seats won't work for them. It's not because necessarily they're fat. It can be because they're very muscular or very athletic or very tall. They could be a person of short stature. There may be mobility concerns that are in place. There's so many different reasons why. I have also learned and observed through time that two people who are the same height and the same weight and wear the same size clothes can have different experiences getting on the ride. One person may fit and the other person may not, depending on how their body is shaped and where they carry their weight. So that's something to take into consideration as well. There is no total hard and fast guarantees. I cannot tell you for sure if you can or cannot fit, but I can tell you this much. From observing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people's personal accounts on the ride, I can tell you that if you are 5'4", which is the average height for an American woman, if you're 5'4" and if you weigh 320 pounds or less, you are likely to fit on the ride. So if you're at least 5'4" or taller and you weigh 320 pounds or less, you stand a very good chance of having no issues getting on the ride, sitting down, and having the restraints automatically come up and lock. If you are 5 feet 4 inches or shorter and you weigh 320 pounds or more, you begin to have diminishing ability to fit on the ride. There's a greater likelihood that the restraints aren't going to lock properly. And then once you hit the 350 pound mark and you're 5'4" or shorter, your chances of fitting are very poor. And I'm right in that range. I think I'm like 348 right now. So I could go and try the ride and I might fit, but I have some other challenges that are coming up against me. Like I have very, very large thighs and I have very short calves. So your leg length and the thickness of your legs is also a part of it. The seats, when you sit on the seat, it's almost like you're sitting on a motorcycle seat, but smaller. It has like a dashboard type thing that comes up in front of you and kind of wraps around your sides a little bit. And then your legs go right into it as well. So that dashboard thing kind of wraps around your legs and stuff. And it prevents you from getting your legs up too high. Like you can't, there's limits on how high you can get your legs up. So if you have super long legs, you might be jammed in there. But in my case, I can move up pretty far, and the back restraint wasn't an issue. The issue I had was that the restraints that are under you that restrain your legs, they're about even with your hips, and they're kind of like two paddles or like wings on the side of the machine, and they fold forward towards your calves. And as they fold forward towards your calves, they pass underneath your thighs. Now, if you have very big thighs and you have very short legs and you can't get your legs up high enough, those restraints drag against the backs of your thighs. And if you're wearing clothing, like I was on the day that I tried the ride, it just kept sticking to the shorts because the restraints have like a silicone surface on it, so they tend to stick to fabric. And it just kept getting jammed on my shorts, and my legs were really big. So I never had a chance to find out if it would fit my calves. I've heard people who have larger calves, 21, 22, 23-inch calves, aren't able to get those leg restraints to lock. But for me, I didn't even get a chance to get there because I couldn't get them to pass underneath my thighs. And even though I've lost about 30 pounds since the last time I rode, I think I still may have too much weight on me, and my legs may be too big still to have the restraints pass underneath them properly. So we'll see. I'll have to try it again soon and let you know. But I am thinking that month or so, I've heard from a lot of people. Looks like I'm buffering there a little bit. Christina's asked, do you know if you're allowed to remove your shoes? I do think in hindsight that if I had removed my sneakers, I could have put my legs up towards more and I could have fit. You are not allowed to remove your shoes on Flight of Passage. I would recommend wearing very thin-soled shoes or flip-flops. Do not take your shoes off. You are not allowed to take them off. But if you wear a very thin-soled sandal or flip-flop or very thin-soled sneaker, you may have better luck with it. So anyhow, what I've been hearing from people over and over again is that they got on the ride, they sat down, they were shocked, they fit, and not only did they fit, but the restraints closed on them very easily, automatically, without any issues. So that's great. Then they went and tried the ride again, and they sat on the ride, and the restraints came up partway, and they had to have a cast member come up and push them closed the rest of the way. Or they didn't fit at all. They tried to get on, and they just couldn't get the restraints completely closed, so they weren't able to ride the ride the second time. They had to make an early exit. And I've heard this repeatedly, either people having to make an early exit, or they had to have help getting the restraints to lock the second time that they tried, or the first time that they tried, and then they tried it a couple of days later and it worked, and they sat in different seats each time. So I started to look into it. I started to ask around. I started to find out what I could find out. And again, this is not official information from Disney. This is hearsay. This is stuff I've heard secondhand, thirdhand. I don't have any direct sources at Disney that told me this information. Please do not take this as gospel. This is merely conjecture and things that I'm hearing, validity to it. And it's this: I'm hearing that as seats get dirty, or they get broken, or they need repair, or they need freshening, they will, when the park closes, remove a seat, and they'll go and clean it and do the basic repairs. And when they go do the basic repairs and maintenance to the seat, they adjust the restraints to be a little bit more generous and forgiving. They don't change the seat. They don't do anything different to the design or construction of the seat, but they adjust the restraints just a little bit, giving them a little more give, like literally like an inch or two. Nothing major, nothing massive, a small tweak. Then they take the chair, the seat, when it's all fixed up, and they put it back in the ride and they bolt it back down. From what I understand, Disney does not have a schedule. They're not scheduled to go around, and they're not systematically removing each seat and systematically adjusting the restraints. They're just doing it whenever they have to take a ride out to like fix the seat or to clean it or anything like that. That's the only time they're really doing it. It's not like it's not on a schedule. They're not making sure every single seat is done. And from what I understand, the cast members have no idea which seats have had adjusted restraints and which ones haven't. So if you try to ask them to put you in a seat with better restraints or a more plus size friendly seat, they have no idea whether or not the seats in that room, which individual seats have had adjustments and which ones haven't. So asking them for that is very, I imagine, frustrating for them. And it's an act of futility because they simply do not know. So I don't know if it's a fact or not, whether or not this is actually happening, but it seems to kind of make sense. It seems like it would be possible to make some minor tweaks and adjustments to the restraints and still have the restraints work and be safe and give just a little tiny bit more give. So if you've tried this ride in the past and you found that you just barely didn't fit, or you fit but you didn't want to ride it because you weren't that comfortable, give it another shot. The restraints may actually have been adjusted on your chair. And if it didn't work the first time, try a different seat. You never know, it might actually work for you. So it kind of gives me a little bit more hope that more people are going to be able to fit this ride. And I actually have spoken to a couple of people in the parks when I've run into them. They've told me that they fit on the rides, fit on Flight of Passage, and I was like, wow, you are like very close in size to me. I might actually be able to fit on this ride. So it's very exciting. I'm definitely going to make sure that I try it again. Orlando Theme Park 360. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, he is kind of like revamping it and doing some really cool stuff. He has some great videos on there with 360-degree views of the park. Check out his channel. He is there quite a bit, and he knows a lot of stuff that's going on in the parks. And Orlando Theme Park 360 has said during the annual pass previews, the locks, oops, I'm missing, here we go. The locks were different, and they adjusted them when the land opened. It wouldn't shock me if some swapped were different. So yeah, Brian, I agree with you. I did hear that as well, that when they first opened the land for annual pass holders to try the ride, I heard that 60 to 70% of the people were able to ride, but 30 to 40% of the people who tried the ride weren't able to ride it. So they started making minor tweaks back then. But I believe, Brian, that these are some additional further tweaks. But I have not heard anything about a complete redesign for the seats, and I don't Passage's refurbishment would fall right in the middle of the 50th anniversary of Magic Kingdom and the Walt Disney World Resort, and I don't know that they'll want to shut it down to do that. So I think that if they do a complete refurbishment of this ride and they update and redesign the seats, I would imagine that that would not happen until 2021, 2022 possibly. I would not expect that for several more years. So we'll take what we can get. If they've made some tweaks, that would be great. I would really be happy with that. And I hope that more people can fit on the ride. And I will tell you, there are no official press releases at the moment about the seats, the chairs, refurbishment, redesign, nothing for Flight of Passage. So anything you read is purely people's opinions or third or fourth hand accounts or personal accounts of their own experiences on the ride. You know, there's no official announcement from Disney about it. I wish I could tell you that there was, but there isn't. Let's take a look at what some of the things you guys are chatting about and questions you have. I see tons and tons in here. Let's see. Let's see here. There's some talk about Cali River Rapids. Cali River ride is fun. I've asked cast members if it's possible to sit alone, as it can be tight with another person right beside. I haven't ever ridden Cali River Rapids because I hate getting wet at theme parks, but I do know that plus size people can fit on the ride. And as Gina has suggested, the ride has it's like a big, the seats are in a circle and they're in pairs around the circle. And even though you each have your individual's lap belt, the fact that you're sitting next to another person in a chair kind of makes it tight and hard to, can be hard to plug your belt in. So, oh my goodness, my computer is about to die. Okay, let's see. I'm having all kinds of technical difficulties today. So let me have just a second here to fix what's going on with this. Oh my goodness, you guys, I am so sorry. It's like technical difficulty central over here. So, Cali River Rapids, it can be difficult to sit next to another person when you're a plus size person. It's easier to connect the restraint if you're sitting in a seat alone. So if you ask a cast member, oftentimes they will allow a plus size person to sit in a pair of seats by themselves so that you can have an easier time connecting the restraint. I also understand from friends who are over 6 feet tall and weighed over 400 pounds that if you stand, pull the belt all the way out, back up against the seat, and then put the belt underneath your belly, especially if you have a low hanging belly like I do, and as you sit down, connect it over the top of your thighs, you will have an easier time fitting on that ride. Let's see what else we have here. Yes, a lot of people are asking about the lag. I'm having a lot of terrible lag. I do apologize for that, guys. It is because I am not able to connect to the internet or Wi-Fi on my phone. I'm having problems with my phone and my computer. It's all kinds of great things going on. Let's take a look here. Yes, there are some people who are asking questions about the test seats. The test seats that are out in front of Flight of Passage are kind of out there in the open where anyone can see you try them. Some people aren't comfortable with it. the cast members are nice and people are pretty busy doing their own thing and they don't really notice you. If you have a fast pass for the ride, I say just bypass the tester seat and go in and try the ride, because the tester seat is not the same vehicle that's inside the building. It's slightly different. The dimensions are slightly different, and therefore the fit of the restraints is slightly different. And I've heard from cast members directly have told me that the restraints outside on the tester seat are actually tighter than the ones inside. So the only reason I would use a tester seat is if I was trying to make a decision about going on the ride and it was a 3-hour long wait and you kind of want to avoid that 3-hour long wait. Sure, try the tester seat, and if you kind of fit or you're close to fitting, I would go right on the ride and get in line and try and get on the ride. But if you're nowhere near fitting, then you know that it's not worth standing in line unless you want to hang out with your family. I will say that they do let you go all the way through the queue with a family member, even if you're not planning to ride. Mark joined me for the entire queue, and he even went all the way through into the 2 pre-boarding rooms, and he followed me into the ride room itself and took footage of me getting on the ride. And they allowed him to do that. He told them, I'm not riding, I'm just walking through with her, and I want to take footage of her as she gets on the seat. And they let him do it, no problem. So you can actually join your entire family all the way through. Let's see. Sarah's asking, so is the problem really the size of the back of the thigh? When it comes to the restraints for Flight of Passage, again, and I will state this over and over again, for each person, almost every person is different. It depends on your body shape, how much you weigh, how tall you are, the length of your thigh, the length of your calf, the width of your thigh, the width of your calf, the width of your hips. There's so many factors involved in it that it's different for each person. You can have 2 people who are the same height, the same weight, wearing the same clothing size, and if their body shapes are slightly different, if the length, because some people have long torsos, they can wear the same size clothes, they can weigh the same amount, they can be the same height, but their shape of their body is completely different, and it's going to affect how they fit on the ride. So it could be anything. I can't hone down what a particular issue will be for a particular person. It's different from each person. Let's see. Again, we're talking about how having thin shoes can be a help for some people, especially if you have long legs, for fitting in better, because the nose of the ride, that dashboard area, your knees fit it and everything, and it actually gets smaller the closer it gets up. And if you have long calves and longer legs and you're trying to get in further, the longer your legs are, the harder it is to get your legs all the way into the nose or the cone or the front of the ride. So if you have on very flat, thin shoes, your legs will be lower and you'll be able to get in further. So that's one of the things that we talked about, why you would wear thin sandals or flip-flops, but you are not allowed to take your shoes off on the ride. Sarah was asking, do you get a fast pass for an early exit? I have heard of a few people not getting fast passes when they made an early exit, and I'm not sure why that happened. I don't know if it was because they were in a larger party and it was discombobulating or what the situation is, but most people, if you make an early exit, as you're going out, they'll say, oh, go over right here to this person here. This cast member will get you a fast pass. They'll scan your magic band or your ticket, whatever. And then there's a bench off to the side that you can sit in and wait for the rest of your party. And as the rest of your party comes out, pull them off to the side, go right over to that same person, and they'll put those same fast passes on everybody else's band. Usually the fast passes are for 2 other rides, sometimes 1 other ride in the park. Generally need to be used that same day at Animal Kingdom, but I've heard varying stories where people have said they got 2 fast passes for any ride at any park at any time during their entire vacation. That's for people who are vacationing from staying on property, but most of the people like myself who are annual pass holders get 1 or 2 fast passes to be used that same day. Let's see. I don't know what you guys are laughing about. Something about using a bra as a purse? What? City, Brumal was asking, Pammy, have you tried Mission Space or has anyone? This is one ride I can't get a lot of information on. Um, Here's the thing. Yeah, I can totally fit on that ride, even when I weighed up to 398 pounds. But even the less intense version of it, I am not a motion sick person. I do not get motion sick like hardly ever about anything or ever feel dizzy or anything like that. Even on the less intense version of that, I feel so lousy. I feel lousy for hours, like 3 or 4 hours after that. The intense version, I feel sick for 3 days. Like I feel nauseous for 3 days and dizzy for 3 days. So I don't go on it very often. But yeah, you can totally fit. I had no issues whatsoever. I can't even think of anything that might be a problem or an issue on that ride. I've been on it several times and I had no problem with fit. The only thing I guess I would be wary of if I were you, and if you have, if you tend to be a bit claustrophobic, that could be a thing because it's a small little tiny room that you're in and you're really close to other people and then the restraint comes down and then the front screen comes down towards you and the space gets even smaller. So if you don't like that, that could freak you out. But I don't like feeling nauseous after a ride, so I don't go on that one. But you can fit. I have no issues with that one. I will do it for you. I'm going to do a video for you for it, even though I don't like the ride. Brian from Orlando Theme Park 360, you're welcome for the kind words and the plug, and I feel like I absolutely should do that. I watch your channel. I'm a fan of your channel, and I think I'm excited to see the new stuff that you're going to be doing coming forward. I'm very interested in what you got to do. You're a fascinating person, and I want other people to see the vloggers that I watch and that I find interesting. So definitely go check out Orlando Theme Park 360, guys. He's making changes. He may change the name of his channel. I don't know, but I'm excited to see what he's doing. All right, let's see. More about Mission Space. Okay, Orlando Theme Park 360 says the test seat is more to show someone. I see I'm buffering here. All right, sorry, I was seeing that I was buffering there. Yeah, the test seat that they have out front is not really out front of a flight of passage, isn't so much to really show whether or not you're going to fit on the restraints because those restraints are more restrictive than the restraints on the ride. It is really mainly a way for someone to find if they have mobility issues to figure out if they can actually get on the seat and whether or not they need a mobility device. They have a special mobility device to help you load onto the ride. Most of the test seats are really meant for that, but if you are plus size, they're more than happy, or you are tall, or you have any other concerns, they are more than happy to let you try the test seat to see if it worked for you. The person who was asking about Kali River Rapids earlier, there is a Kali River Rapids test seat, so check that out before. I don't know if the seat belts are on that seat, but it'll give you an idea of whether or not you think you'll be comfortable sitting next to someone, or if you need to ask your cast member to be seated on your own. Whenever I want to be seated alone on a ride, or if I want to have a seat on the end of a row or something where I feel like I'm going to be more comfortable, it's very easy to ask your cast member. They know what you're doing. They get you. They're happy to help. I just say to them, I would be more comfortable in blank seat. I would be more comfortable in blank row. I would be more comfortable in such and such seat. Or I would be more comfortable if I used the accessible seat. Rock and Roller Coaster is a ride that I can totally fit on in any row, any seat, anywhere. But I have very short legs and bad knees, and I did struggle to step in and out of that ride. And I think the next time that I go ride Rock and Roller Coaster, I'm going to ask to use the accessible car. Clearly, if there's somebody who is in a wheelchair or other mobility device who is standing in line waiting for that first, or even after me, I am going to let them go on first because I do have other options of how I can board the ride. But if no one else is using the accessible car, I am definitely going to use that. The accessible car for Rock and Roller Coaster has a side panel that opens like a car door, and you can just very easily step into it without having to step over the side of the car, which is what I found very sort of discombobulating. especially when I was wearing jeans. I was wearing jeans that day, so they were a little more restrictive. Let's see. Brian from Orlando, Theme Park 360, has mentioned that he's seen tiny, skinny people not fit on Flight of Passage, be because of the shape of your body, the length of your calves, the length of your thigh bone, your leg length. It's so many factors are involved in it. I've actually heard of a woman who was pretty much average size all over, average weight, but she had a very large chest, and she was in a shorter torso, so she couldn't get her chest up over the top of the dashboard part, and she couldn't scoot in far enough, even though she was thin, to fit on the ride. So that's something that can happen too. Let's see. Let's see. I've never heard of anyone getting turned away for Flight of Passage. Alan Dennison said, our next trip is December 2019. Wish my wife could ride it. However, being turned away is not fun when she doesn't fit. I don't know. I guess it's my way of thinking of it. Like, if a ride doesn't work for me, it's the problem with the ride and the seat. It's not my problem. I'm not being turned away. It's just they don't have something that works for me. It's like I've said this before, you guys are probably sick of hearing it, but if I go into a shoe store and I say, hey, I'd like an 8.5, do you have a size 8.5 or an 8 wide? Oh, you don't have those shoe sizes? Okay, thanks. And I leave and I go find a shoe store that has my shoe size. I don't walk out in shame. Oh, I'm so ashamed. Like, none of that. They just don't have shoes that work for me. They don't have those shoes. Okay, cool. Well, oh well, I really wanted to ride it, but that's the way it goes. It doesn't work for everyone, but let's go find something that does. And that's kind of my opinion. I don't look at it as like being turned away. I like to call it an early exit. Like, I'm exiting that ride earlier than I wanted to. I wanted to stay on it and ride it, but the seat doesn't work for me, so I'm making an early exit. That's my opinion. That's my attitude, and that's how I look at it. And, you know, it works for me. I hope it works for others. I think it's a good way to look at things because not everything works for every person. Not everybody can do everything. That's okay. There's lots of stuff that we can do, and there's lots to take advantage of when you're on a trip. Let's see. Someone was saying something about not knowing about the accessible cars for Rock and Roller Coaster. I'm glad I could share that with you. Alexa says you have the best, most positive and uplifting attitude, Pammy. I try to. I don't know. It's kind of the way I am, but I do. Sometimes there are times when I have to make a little bit of an effort. Let's see. I find that having a good attitude and just kind of looking at things from a point of view that's a little more optimistic just helps in life in general. It makes everything easier for yourself and for others. It's amazing how when you are happy and positive and upbeat and have a good attitude about things and find a way to try to make everything work for you, that people tend to want to help you and are happy to be around you. It works good. Gina says, for me, the screen rides at Universal make me very nauseous, but I can do most Disney rides. I decided to pass on Mission Space and Star Tours just in case. I really appreciate all the tips. Yeah, those rides might not work for you if you don't like the that sort of like 3D movie thing where the ride moves along with the movie. Those rides that can be kind of an issue for folks. I can totally see that. For me, I actually get a little bit nauseous in movies, in rides, if I'm not in a vehicle that's moving along with the movie, if that makes any sense. I'm fine if it's moving along with it, but if I'm sitting there having to watch it and I'm not moving with it, it kind of throws me off and makes me feel weird. It's kind of funny. Christina says, rides were scary. They don't lock my belt tight. I guess I trust it. I'm going to do this to you, Cindy. Cindy says, Side note, when Pammy says Alexis, my Alexa goes off. Alexa. That's awesome. I'm so glad I can set off your devices in your house with my fabulous voice. Colette, thank you so much for your card. I actually opened it. I don't know if you got to see me earlier, but if you didn't, go back and view the beginning of this. Thank you so much for giving that to me. I appreciate it. Guys, I actually feel like I have wrapped up everything that I can possibly say about Flight of Passage. So I'm going to take a couple of quick minutes to talk about something that I'm excited about coming up in August, and that's the first portion of the opening of Star Wars Galaxy Edge. The first ride that will open there is going to be Smuggler's Run. And in that ride, you're basically taken into the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon and you get to go on an adventure. And I believe that ride is going to be very much a simulator ride with a screen in front of you that's going to look like like space out in front of you. I think it'll be very much like Star Tours in that way. I don't know if it's a 3D ride. It probably is. It probably says it somewhere in some article. I just don't remember off the top of my head. I believe what I read is that there will be 6 seats in each of the cockpits that you go into. In the real Millennium Falcon, I think there's only 4, but there's supposed to be, I believe, 6 in the ride. And based on what you see for the promotional videos that Disney made for Smuggler's Run, you see people sitting in individual bucket seats that are like the ones that are on the Millennium Falcon in the movie. You don't see any restraints, but they don't shoot past like chest high. So there might be individual lap bars for each of those seats, or they may be seatbelt style belts. You can't see enough of the seat to see if there are grab bars on the side, but I'm going to guess that there may be metal grab bars that are like just a loop of metal, like a tube of metal with open sides that should be okay for people of size. I know that there's lots of rides like Dinosaur that have that, or Soarin' that has it. They're very low. They're open. They're a little bit of a squeeze, but they're not horrible. I'm guessing there's going to be some sort of grab bar situation on the sides or individual lap bars, kind of like what they have on Slinky Dog. I'm hoping something along those lines. Hopefully nothing that will be too restrictive on the knees. I have great hopes for this ride. I'm hoping very much that it will be plus size friendly. It looks like the way the seats are set up, it should be the sort of thing that they are going to be able to have people come very close to the seats, neither their ECV wheelchair or transfer device. So it should be pretty easy for people who have mobility concerns to load it. So I'm super, super, super excited. We to Disney, hello. I'm excited that you're here to watch live. I'm sorry that the connection that we have to the Wi-Fi is so poor tonight and there's so much lag. I'm so sorry about that. But, you know, I think that's going to be a pretty interesting thing to see. I think it's going to be pretty plus size friendly. Now, the next ride, which is Rise of the... Oh my gosh, I totally got so excited I forgot the name of the other ride. The second ride that's opening in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Rise of the Rebellion? Is that what it's called? Somebody tell me. I'm not sure. But that ride has cars that are set up almost exactly like the cars that they have for Dinosaur. It looks like the exact same type of seat. It looks like they have the metal handbars on the side. It looks like they have seatbelt restraints. That's a ride that I find really easy to get on and off of. I think it's going to be a quite plus-size friendly ride. I know that some people have trouble with, if they're very, very tall, if they're over 6'4", with the leg room on the Dinosaur ride. So I'm guessing that might be an issue for the second ride in Disney. Rise of the Resistance. Thank you. The Rise of the Resistance ride. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? So yeah, I think that both of the rides that will be in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge are going to work really well for people of many different sizes and mobilities. So if you have mobility concerns and you're able to ride Dinosaur and get on and off and load that ride easily, you're probably going to have an easy time with Rise of the Resistance also. So I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I don't know that I'm going to plan to be there on opening day. I did it for Toy Story Land because I knew it wasn't going to be that bad. I got there at 4:15 a.m. and I was able to go on the 2 new rides by about, they opened the park at 6. They opened it because there were so many people there. They opened very early. They opened that section at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I guess I had both of the rides done by 7:30. So I don't know that that's going to happen with Star Wars. I think people are going to be camping out days in advance. I think it will be a madhouse. I don't think there's going to be any way I'm going to be able to get into that land for months, sadly. I hope that I get to do it sooner rather than later. I would love, how awesome would it be if I could be one of the first people in there within a few days of it opening, to be able to go in and tell you what the seats are like and maybe even show and get some video. I think I'm going to try to take a day or two off before that section of the park opens, and I might just go there and hang around and see if they do a soft opening and see if I can get in the day before. I'm gonna try, because I really don't have any other options, because getting there and doing what I did last time for Toy Story, I don't think it's going to work this time for Star Wars. I think the lines will be far too long because there's only one ride opening and it will just be a madhouse, and I think I'd be there for 8 or 10 hours waiting to get on that ride. And I don't know if that's such a good thing for me. So we'll see. Alexis says, we're going to miss the Star Wars land by a few weeks. When we're there, it's a little sad, but I hope when we make it, we'll be a little crazy. Are you planning to go close to opening, Pammy? Like I said, I don't think I'm going to actually go on opening day like I did for Toy Story Land. Oh, that was a great experience, but I think for Star Wars it'll be 50 times harder. Yeah, I'm not planning to do that. I think it's going to be really, really hard. The Kennedy Rain said, have you tried calling Disney and asking to be put on because you have a vlog and share a specialized bunch of info for guests? Funny you should ask that. I received a rejection email from Disney this morning for that very thing. I asked them to reconsider. I told them that I don't see any other vloggers covering the rides in the detail that I've covered them in, that I try to be very professional, that I'm not just serving the audience of plus-size people, but people who have mobility and accessibility concerns. But you know what? Disney has parameters of who they allow to have media passes to go in and see rides early and have those experiences. Those people have tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They have a massive reach. These are people who have worked at vlogging for many years. They have a proven record of reaching audiences and getting the information out to people. I have been doing this for a year and 7 months. I have just over 8,000 subscribers. Sure, since January of this year, the size of the number of subscribers has doubled. But to them, I'm still a small subscriber. So, a very, very small vlogger. And I only have a few hundred followers here and there on Instagram and Twitter between the two. So I really have to work on that and get more Instagram followers and more Twitter followers, and put out more content on those platforms as well, so that Disney will consider me and allow me to go to press conferences and to be able to see seats early and bring you that information. I'm just going to have to put in the same amount of work and effort that all the other vloggers have to earn the right to be able to get in and see the things that they see and have access to the things they have access to. Yes, I understand. I'm covering things in a way that no one else is, for people that don't have any other options. But I'm sure every other vlogger has a similar story. So I'm going to do it. I'm here for the long haul. I'm going to stick it out. And if it takes years before Disney will grant me media access so that I can bring you plus size and mobility information on the same level and the same quality that able-bodied and average-sized people receive, then I'm going to do it. I will put in the work. I will put in the effort. I mean, I'm really, really, really going to try to do everything I can to make that happen. The sacrifices, the time, the energy, whatever it takes to try to bring that information to you guys if I can. I know what it's like to go into a situation and not know what to expect. I know what it's like to be scared. I know what it's like to try to go on vacation with your family and with your friends and be really fearful that you're going to be the person that brings everybody down because there's just stuff you can't do. And I'm dedicated to showing you what is possible, what you can do, giving you the best tips and tricks to help you feel the most comfortable, and also giving you advice and guidance on how to handle situations when you know you don't want to go on a ride, or you're not interested in trying it, or it may not work for you. And how do you negotiate and navigate that situation with your friends and family and make the most out of your trip? That's what I'm here for. I hope I can give you that coverage someday. You know, if it does take me years to build up an audience here on YouTube and in other social media platforms, whatever Disney needs me to do to prove that there's an audience of people who really want this information, I'm going to do it. And you guys can help me, actually. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Write comments on the videos. Hit the like button. They actually asked me that as part of my application. How many comments do you have on your videos? How many people like your videos? How many people follow you on Twitter? How many people follow you on Instagram? Just doing those things alone really help. Give the channel visibility. If you want to make a contribution using PayPal to help make it easier for me to be able to afford to do things, that would be great. Like if I could afford to stay at a hotel in the area for Star Wars, I would probably stay at a hotel so I don't have to do a 2 or 3 hour drive to the park and get there, like get up at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning and drive 2 or 3 hours to get there and then try to stand in line from 4 a.m. That's why it's not good for me. Like that day that I did it for Toy Story, I think I got home at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I had like a 16-hour day or something in the parks and driving and all of that. It was crazy. But yeah, I mean, if people contribute to PayPal, I have the money to be able to actually get a hotel room up there. It makes it easier for me to be able to go and do that sort of thing and provide that kind of coverage. Yeah, I mean, that definitely helps. But really, what really helps is watching the videos, making comments, hitting the like button, sharing the videos with other friends and family members who might find it useful. That would be great and a huge help. Let's see. There is a possibility that down the line that Disney will offer some stuff. They'll offer like early morning magic hours or something like that for Star Wars. And if they do, I'll take them up on that. I'll definitely see if I can afford to do that. Christina's asking, I remember hearing that there is a hotel part of Star Wars World. Is that accurate? Will that be open at the same time? I don't think that hotel will be open at the same time. Amber says, you are fabulous. You are calmed my anxiety over the rides 110%. We are so incredibly blessed to have you. And I feel really blessed to be allowed to cover this stuff for you guys, that you trust me to do it, that you watch, that you follow the videos. And I hope that I do enough content that's interesting that you want to continue to watch even after you've finished your Disney vacation. So yeah, I don't know if that's a possibility somewhere down the line. If the channel earns enough money and has enough viewers and earns enough income, I can actually afford to get a hotel room and stay at a Disney property hotel and do an early morning magic hours during when Star Wars is open or something like that, and make something work. I'll figure it out. It'll come together. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. I really believe that. Evelyn asks, will Toy Story Land lighten up since the crowds will be focused on Galaxy's Edge? It seems Expedition Everest crowds have thinned since Flight of Passage has opened. No, I think the parks are all going to be very, very, very busy from the time that Star Wars Land opens all the way through the entire year of 2020, which is the 50th anniversary of Magic Kingdom and the Walt Disney World Resort. They have so much going on, so many things opening. Guardians of the Galaxy will be opening, Ratatouille, Mickey's Runaway Railway. There's going to just be the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. tons and tons and tons and tons of new things opening between now and even I think up to 2012. So much going on that I think the parks are going to be uber busy. I think maybe in 2013 you'll see crowds drop down a little bit. But you know, I don't know. I think it's going to take a while. Joanne says, you're doing a great service for people. I am not plus size, but I still love your vlogs. You give such honest reviews and details that other vloggers do not. Thank you, Joanne. I mean, I am very dedicated to offering information to people who are plus size and to those with mobility, accessibility, sensory, cognitive concerns. But if you know of some things that I can cover that would help other people as well, I'm not like closed off to helping everybody and giving as much information as I can that will help lots of other people. So if you have suggestions, I'm happy to hear them. One of the things I found really interesting that completely blew me away, and I never really thought of it, is that the fact that I explain what the queues are like and what happens in the queues, and I show the actual rides and how to step on and off and give very detailed explanations about stuff like that and what to expect and what the ride is like. I did not realize this, but there are people who have anxiety and anxiety disorders and anxiety challenges who just hearing about the ride and what the ride is like from someone and hearing honest reviews and accounts of what to expect, regardless of what their size is, they like hearing that, and it makes them feel more calm and relaxed and ready to try rides because they hear that. So if that is super cool, I'm really excited about being able to like offer that to I didn't even know until people started telling me that they were using my videos for that. So that's awesome. That's very cool. All right, guys, I think it is time for me to wrap it up. Michelle, I agree with you. I am very excited about Ratatouille as well. I think that's going to be an awesome ride. I can't wait. You guys, thank you so much for taking your time out of your evening tonight to spend with me. Thank you for bearing with me with this terrible lag that's going on with not being able to connect to Wi-Fi. Maybe I will be able to get would love to have a new phone sometime soon and maybe be able to connect a little bit better and have better image quality and stuff like that. But we'll see with time. There's other things that need to be done first. Thank you again so much for joining me. Thank you for the mail that you sent me. Thank you for the wonderful birthday wishes. And remember, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Please hit the like button. Please leave comments. Go back and view other videos. Do more of the same on all of those. That would be super helpful to the channel. And maybe someday Disney will give me media credentials and allow me to come to press conferences and have previews of rides that can really help you guys. But the only way I can really do that is by actually building the audience that we have here and building the number of subscribers and the interactions that we have. Please do leave your comments after this is posted. If you're watching this live chat after it's posted, leave your comments down below. Just say hi, anything, just so that it can kind of like help this channel grow. I greatly appreciate that. I greatly appreciate you guys watching and all of your comments and suggestions. I hope that you have a magical night. And remember, everyone, life is a roller coaster. Enjoy the ride. Good night.